Very slowly, and I'll start dancing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. People were terrorists. Screaming.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Woo!
Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Arlette. How you guys doing? Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. So Sam asked me to do a few songs for you, and he actually made the request for the songs, so that takes the pressure off of me. So just gonna do a couple numbers for you, okay? Don't mind me. Carry on with your lives. I'm gonna sing a few songs. Request number one. Yeah. Woo. I'm not actually singing yet. Woo. Well, I love you, but I gotta stay true. Mama's got me on my knees, begging, please stop playing gas. Woo. I don't know what this is, but you got me good, just like I knew you would. I don't know what you do, but you do it well. I'm under your spell. You got me begging you for mercy. Why won't you release me? You got me begging you for mercy. Oh, why won't you release me? Baby, release me. Now you think that I will be something on the side, but you gotta understand, I need a man who can take my hand. Yes, I do. I don't know what this is, but you got me good, just like you knew you would, yeah. I don't know what you do, but you do it well. I'm under your spell, begging you for mercy. Release me. There you go. You got me begging you for mercy, mercy. Why won't you release me? Baby, release me. I'm begging you for mercy. Baby, why won't you release me? I'm begging you for mercy. That face beat. Oh, release me. You got me begging. You got me begging you for mercy. Oh, why won't you release me? Baby, release me. I like it. Thank you. I didn't even need the track. You could have just played that. I didn't even need the track. You could have just played that. I shoulda. That's request number 1. We got to do request number 2. Are you ready?
Request number 2.
Request number 2. Uh-oh.
Honey.
Uh-oh. Hi. You're just in time. You can be my prop for the song. What you want, babe, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. But all I'm asking is for a little respect.
Just a little bit.
Respect.
Just a little bit.
Woo.
Just a little bit.
Very good. I ain't gonna do you wrong. Why you gone? I ain't gonna do you wrong. 'Cause I don't wanna. But all I'm asking is for a little respect.
Just a little bit.
Respect.
Just a little bit.
I love this.
Just a little bit.
Woo! Your kisses, sweet honey. That's all right, honey. Don't get afraid. I won't make you sing. But all I want you to do for me is give it to me when you get home. Thank you, hon. Woo! When you get home, just a little bit. Woo! Sabrina, you're gonna sing a little? You gonna sing a little? Yes. Are you playing piano? Those are nice, but you gotta sing. Your kisses, sweet and honey. But guess what? So is my money. And all I want you to do for me is give it to me when you get home. Woo! When you get home, just a little bit. Woo! See, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Take care of TCB. Whoa! Whoa! guys are fun. Thank you. Whew. We catch our breath. All right, this next one, a couple of people requested this song. And luckily for you, I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I think I'll just go ahead and do it.
Yes.
And I want to just dedicate the song to a very pretty lady. She's so special. She's in the room right now, and it's her birthday today. Melanie, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Wait a minute. Let me just sing it first. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, pretty darling. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday, hon. All right, are we ready for this one? Ready? Ooh, sweating. Are you ready?
It's all about.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something that you're searching for? I'm falling. Through all the good times, I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times, I fear myself. I wish I had Bradley Cooper singing here next to me. Oh, hey, Brad. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. Through all the good times, I find myself longing for a change. And in the bad times, I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never leave the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now. Oh, 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 I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I never leave the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. Far from the shallow now. Thank you. Thank you. Did you like that, Steve? All right.
Hold on, I gotta play.
Now, please rise and remove your hats. Here to sing the anthem of the United States of America, please welcome organist Pete Cannarozzi and Arlette.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all around us we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran round, the bombs bursting in air, galloping through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the calm of the
All right. Hey, thanks to everybody for coming out. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby's Auto Care, everybody. Bobby's Auto Care, everybody. You need something done to your car, you go to Bobby's Auto Care. They'll get it done right.
All right.
Wow. How do you follow that up? That's pretty amazing.
I don't know how we follow that up. What's up? We kind of screwed up. Yeah, whatever. We screwed up. It's a day that ends in Y. Producer Sam, trying to get everything right.
It's a big job that he's doing over here, folks.
You can do it. Whatever.
Carry on,
right.
carry on.
So, welcome to Mothers. Everyone, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Hey.
And thank you, Mother's Ale House, for having us. This is
seriously, hosting us again. Another Devil's Party here at the Mother's Ale House. Drink specials, food specials. It's awesome. What are they? Yeah, all right. Hey, let's give this to producer Sam so we can. All right, you can use it for now. All right.
Yeah.
Sam's gonna pay the bills because Sam knows how to do that better.
he pays the bills.
All right. Well, hey, it's another day that ends in Y. We're screwing this up. Oh well. So, not a very great week in Devils hockey. A couple losses.
No, and last night's game was a little rough.
Yeah.
When they went down 2-0, they ended up tying up 2-2, and you thought that the tides were turning, and then all of a sudden the wheels kind of fell off. It wasn't really the best game that they could have had, but at the same time, you look at the lineup, and there's a lot of guys that started the season in Binghamton, and injuries have plagued this team all year, and it seems like this is going to be one of the situations that they're going to find themselves in and day out, where you have a lot of guys that are going to be called up, like Mikey McLeod, that are going to be on a audition, and
you love that.
I absolutely love it. I'm hoping if he scores tonight, I will buy a random person a beer.
There we go. Even though it's $20, well, you can drink responsibly.
Yeah, exactly.
I will get you a free beer from my $20 unlimited beer. Well done.
Exactly. But honestly, it's just I'm excited to see what some of these young kids have, and. You have Bastano already scored his first NHL goal.
Which was cool.
And I didn't realize how big that kid is. 6'4", or 6'3". He's a big kid. So,
big.
you know, we're not gonna have Gabriel tonight because Gabriel is on a 1-game suspension from last night's game. Which, you know what? That's a suspension for him for boarding, and they should have suspended him. But at the same time, go ahead. You could say what just happened.
No, I know. The red team from New York scored. The red team from New York scored. Not the blue team. The red team. Oh, they called it back. Oh.
Womp womp. Anyways, yeah.
Anyway.
So Gabriel got his 1-game suspension for that boarding hit, and rightfully so. I mean, that was one of those hits that you knew something was going to happen. You knew player safety was going to come in and step in and say something. But later in the game, Nolan Patrick coming in with a cheap shot elbow. Nothing. So, you know, it goes both ways. You have a situation where Gabriel goes into the boards, takes Patrick. You know, they get the 5-minute major, and honestly, it was awesome because the Devils killed that off.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they went right back onto the PK, the play after that, and you know, relinquish the goal. So it's just, at this point in the season, it's just bring all the young kids up, dress rehearsal, see what they got, and see what we can do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we've been talking about this. It's that weird point of the season where you're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You want to see them win, but if we win, it's kind of like it hurts us at the same time, too.
It does, in a sense, like, you want them to play well because you don't want to see your team lose, but at the same time, like, we understand what's at stake. The more they win, the lesser chance they have at that 1, 2, or 3 top pick. The lottery is a strange thing. You could be like Colorado in the year that we drafted Nico. Colorado had the worst record, and they still didn't get the top pick.
Oh, hey.
So that things could happen.
Hey.
Grant Marshall, everybody.
Grant Marshall.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are yours, Grant.
Here,
There you go.
we're all tangled up. Don't cross the streams.
Did I? Hey, everybody, how are you?
Hey.
Hello. I'm going to throw one guarantee out. My voice will not be as good as Arlette's.
Look at that. Oh.
We didn't plan that either. That just happened.
Okay.
None of our voices are going to be at Arlette's, so we're all in the same boat here.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to get this is turned up a little bit more. Can we?
Oh, you know what? We can't hear anything.
What's that?
We can't hear anything.
that time.
So, Grant, how you been? It's you're back here, another live event for us.
I'm doing good. This is a great place, isn't it? I've been here. Actually, I'm going to be here again next week. To be honest with you. I might have a cot in the back room. Or
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
But I'm doing good. Wayne used to be my stomping ground. I used to live out here, but now I'm in Bayonne now. But I'm doing good. I'm working a lot, and I'm kind of having to always answer the questions about what's up with the Devils, what's going on with the Devils, and same old stuff. They're just not very good this year, but they're doing their best. They're working hard, and I try and tell people, last year you wouldn't have thought that they succeeded more than what we all thought they were going to be, which is a good thing. And I think we all got kind of sometimes a little bit of fool's gold and expect even more coming into this year, which rightfully so. But it's really their second year of a 3-year-ish rebuild, and so I mean you got to give it a little bit. I think Ray Sherrill's doing a wonderful job with collecting a lot of assets in regards to draft picks and certain players. Now it comes down to this year, at the end of the year, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah.
With that, they have a lot of money to sign in free agency, and they have the draft capital. So it's now you got to do something with it. And I'm hoping next year they'll take that extra leap. Now, if they're in the same situation next year, then I'd be starting to get a little worried.
So that actually leads me into a great question, because Marcus Johansson's playing the Devils tonight, right? He just got traded from New Jersey to Boston less than a week ago. Yeah. That's got to be such a strange feeling to play your old team in that short amount of time.
It is, I guess, in some regards, but you just have to keep it into the moment and know that, who you're with, what your job is, and what you need to do to where you want to go, and know the situation. Boston's obviously one of the top teams in the league, and the Devils have been struggling this year, so he knows that he's in a good situation to help a team, have a chance for a Stanley Cup. But yet you also have that aspect. You have guys that you've got to know pretty well. So it's tough, but it's a business, it's a job, and it's just the way it goes. They're getting paid a lot of money to.
Yeah.
So
Play
boo
hockey,
hoo.
that's great.
So being in that situation, you played in a league and you've been traded from one team to another. What is that feeling like going in against your former teammates, like your buddies that you formed a good friendship with, and you have to go? Everybody's competitive, so when you go out there, you turn the friendship off, and it's automatically like, oh, all right, this is what we have to do. This is our job. But at the end of the day, you're still friends with those guys. So what is that like? Is that like a weird situation to feel like going up against a friend and like maybe you go into the corner and you're like, oh, hey, maybe we'll catch a beer later or something like that?
Well, you'll always catch a beer later. You're never not having a beer. Well, you know what? You're not friends on the ice. And that kind of gets back to my point again with Johansson. We have a job to do, a role to do it, and it's about it's at the end of the day, it's not about the name on the back. It's about the logo on the front, and yes, it's tough when you have a lot of allegiance and you play so hard for that logo on the front, the team you're with first, but then when you go to the team, you got to lose that allegiance, and now you're on that new team, and that's what comes first. I mean, I've had guys that I was great friends with, and I ended up fighting in the game. And yes, we had a beer after, but in the moment, you don't like them, and I'll tell you a story. The year we won in 03. And when I was living back home in Canada, I used to train with Brad Richards, who was a great player, played with the Rangers and that. And so we were playing Tampa. He won with Tampa, and we were here at home, and we came near each other, and I elbowed him in the head. And I remember him saying to me when we were training, he goes, "Why did you do that?" I said, "I want to win the Stanley Cup. I don't really care." So. I go, if you don't want to like me for it, then that's up to you. But I said, you better start getting that mindset of not caring and not liking the person next to you. It doesn't matter if it's your brother. You're here to win. That's what it's about. And then we can be friends after. We don't really talk anymore, I guess, but I don't really care. But he was good. He was a great player. I think the Rangers, but that's kind of my point. We're not here to be friends. Friends are after. We have a job to do. We get paid good money, and we're here to win and to do it for the city, for the logo, for the guy next to us. I'm not worried about the guy in the other dressing room at all.
Good, man.
Yeah. So the Devils are in a real odd spot right now, where we want to see them win, but wins at this point are almost hurting us.
Are you going to bring up the word tanking?
No. I'm not.
We talked about that last time.
You know why I said? Because I'm a big Dolphin fan. Everyone says, "Oh, they're going to tank next year," and I'm like, "Okay, so go ahead."
No. It's just the Devils are in such an odd position where we want to see them win.
Yeah.
But every win is almost hurting us in a way as far as getting a higher draft pick. So it's just they're just in such an odd spot because if the playoffs are out the window.
Well, yeah, I think actually we talked briefly about this last week on the phone, and the reason why I don't, a couple of things. I don't buy the whole, tanking, which I know you guys aren't talking about that, but because it's just not in our DNA. We just
no.
It just doesn't exist. We have so much that we have to play for, like my job next year. Like I want to be here next year, but then you look at the other part of it too is the way the system is and the way the draft is there's that lottery. So even if the Devils lost every single game the rest of the way, they're not guaranteed to get the first pick. So just, I get as a fan, yes, your odds are better or increased to get the number one pick. But, I think, was it the year we had, we won the draft with each year?
Yeah.
And I think we were, third or fourth or something? Third or fourth, I think it was, right?
We were up there, yeah. I was shocked that year that we got the top.
Yeah.
And it happens. So, we could win out and still end up having a chance to get the top 3 or 4 picks.
Yep.
It's human nature to say, oh, they're losing their chances or they're reducing their chances for a higher pick. But then you also have to tie into the fact that the first pick, second pick, third pick, they're not guaranteed to be great players either.
That's true.
Yes, the chance that they're going to be.
That's true.
Really good or studs or whatever, but you're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
Hence, that's why we made that trade years back. I'm not saying it worked out to be the best, but it's when we traded the 10th pick for Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 10th pick being with Domi at the time wasn't guaranteed to be now he's playing well like in Montreal and stuff, but it's just one of those things. What do you do? I think you did the right thing. You go with a guy that's a proven goaltender. Struggled, injuries hurt us, but that's after the fact.
Yeah. But he seems to be coming back to the form he had prior to that injury, which we've been talking.
It.
I know he needs it. We were
For
talking
him, he needs it.
We were talking on the podcast constantly, like from myself playing the positions, like you get in those slumps, they're awful. But once you get that first win, you get that confidence back. Next thing you know, there's win number 2, 3, 4. And he seems to be getting back into that swing, which is fantastic to see.
Well, I mean,
because we need him for the team, too.
Well, definitely, yeah. I mean, Schneider's a top goalie. I mean, it's frustrating. As much as the fans get frustrated, try being in his situation, too.
Oh, yeah.
From the fact that he can't, get past the injury bug to can't get a win to when they're leading in the third period and end up losing. It's frustrating. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. The players are trying their best, but at times you just it is what it is. You just got the true character is how much you can battle through, and he's always said the right things.
Yeah, totally.
He works hard, and right now of late he's been playing very well. The team has played fairly good for him as well. So it's tough. Goalie is a tough situation. It's not easy.
It's fun.
It's on you. It's on the goalie.
I love it. I love playing.
It's easy when you have Brodeur, though. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, right? You played in front of it.
We actually have a fan question.
Oh.
This is from the...
Not on, Sam.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we actually have a
go.
fan question. I am here with Durango Steve from... Where do you live again? North Brunswick, New Jersey. Durango, you have a question for Grant. What's that?
Absolutely. Hey, Grant.
How are you?
Thank you for everything you've done for us. And
I appreciate
it. If it wasn't for the sacrifices you personally have made with your body and your family and your time, I don't even believe the Devils would exist today. Because it wasn't for...
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree, right? I agree.
Absolutely. You rock, dude.
No, you should have been my agent. That would have been awesome. I still might be playing over there.
Well, what I wanted to ask about a little bit was about Lou Lamoriello.
Right.
And your relationship with him a little bit. And there's like a infamous fan story that talked about one night that Lou lost his mind, and in the locker room he threw a jar of grape jelly against the wall. I think it was an away game. It was Flyers playoffs game. Do you happen to know anything about that?
No, I don't know anything about that. No, it wasn't me. I was on another team. My mind was in another place. Lou, it's funny. Lou is like stealth because. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. I really appreciate that. It's nice when you're the grinder and you kind of get a little notice a little bit once in a while for trying to work hard for the team. So I appreciate that.
You did.
I appreciate that. Now with Lou, I love Lou. He's so. What's great about Lou is I think it should be if you're loyal and you work hard, he's loyal to you. And what's always nice too is we knew who our star players. We knew that we had the Brodeurs and we had the Stevens and the Elias and stuff. And but we also knew, and he made it known that without the Turner Stevensons and the Danicos, of course, what he brings and things like that, that doesn't make we don't have a team, and that's why he had a coach like Pat Burns that also had those same beliefs.
Yeah.
And Lou Lamoriello, he's like stealth. I'm telling you, he doesn't. When he was on the bench, which was funny, we're all like, "What?" He really didn't do anything on the bench. His role was to stare at us. and that's what it looked like. I know because Lou is so much about character and about doing the right thing, whether it's being positive with your team or not showing frustration or emotion that lets the other team see. He's really big on that stuff. So it's hard a lot of times when you come off and you didn't do well, you want to drink my water but then John McClain, whoever was coaching at the time, would be the one who was coaching. So he was just more to just oversee things.
Yeah.
Oversee things. But he was great. Lou was the best. I love him. And look what he's doing for the Isle. He's doing.
That's what I was just going to ask about. You happen to catch that Islander Leaf game the other night, or Tavares game?
I did, but I have a problem.
Our thunder.
I have a problem with that because I get, I'm from a player standpoint, I get the frustration from fans and being upset with him and that. But when you start throwing the jerseys that you bought from him, you start burning them and stuff, I'm like, It's very, very, very childish. Really,
It is.
You can
But
boo
it's
him.
also a lot of fun.
I love being booed, but I wasn't John Tavares. I wish I had half his talent, but you know, I just it just doesn't make sense. You can be frustrated, you can be upset, but it is what it is. Like he's from my hometown, and you know, he went home. I think if anything, honestly, if I was the fans, I think I would have been a little more upset with, say, Lou and the organization, because they didn't really, in my mind, now I could be wrong, they didn't really offer him a contract early enough. I think if they would have jumped on him and showed, you know, from the love a little earlier, hence the Zach Parise situation.
Yeah.
If Zach would have been, you know, shown a little bit of love before the season, or before the season ended, whatever, I don't know. Maybe it would have signed. See, it was just, but this is the way Lou operates. Lou likes to do things after. He wants to weigh things out. That's his philosophy. It's worked. And it is what it is. Yeah. So the whole, you know, Tavares thing, it's just, it's silly. Boom and boom all you want. I get it. You know, but why waste a perfectly good jersey? That's good.
Yeah.
So actually, a good follow-up to that is, as a professional, how do you block out that kind of stuff? Like, we're talking about Schneider and the struggles that he went through. How do you block out the social media now, which is a lot more prevalent now?
I'm not on social media. Yeah. I wasn't then, so I lucked out. But you know, you have to. That's what you're a professional. You have to. You know, no one's. I mean, your own fans. There's a lot of. I mean, I played for the Devils. I won with the Devils, but there's Devils fans that didn't like the way I played. Mm-hmm. I get it. I mean, some days I didn't like the way I played. So you know, it's just. You have to deal with it. You're not going to please everybody, but at the end of the day, you have to be true to your team, true to yourself, and just work hard. And if it happens, it happens. You know, he wanted. I don't know what he wanted. At the end of the day, it looks like he wanted to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been easier in a situation where he says, you know what, I'm not going to sign back. I want to go here. But then you're limiting your case for the money you can get and where you can go. It is what it is. You just got to deal with it. I remember way back in the day, and I grew up playing in minor hockey back home in Canada with Eric Lindros, and you know, it was always he was always one of the best players in the league, if not the best player, and dictating where you wanted to go. And you see it in like football and stuff, like the Eli Mannings. Like, you dictate where you want to go. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We're just lucky to be playing this game and to have an opportunity. You go where you're supposed to be going. That's the rules. That's how it works. And it's like, it just becomes silly because we're very, very fortunate to be playing a game that we love. When we really, it's no different than us playing in just the local rink. It's just we happen to have a TV with us and extra fans, and we get paid to do it, which we're very lucky to do. So I don't know. I don't get this whole, I don't like the city and I don't want that. I'm like, screw that. Go play. You don't have to live the rest of your life. Just go play. What
you're saying is there was never a team at any point in your career that you would have said no to. You would have been like, I can have fun in a phone booth. I'll work. It don't matter. It's a rink. It's ice. It's a build. It's a board. I still got to hit this. No, I never in my mind I ever thought that. I was playing Columbus, so I was in Dallas, and I loved Dallas. Dallas is a great city, and I got to the point where I just wasn't getting along with the coach, and I wanted my career to blossom more. I wanted to get traded. I wanted my career to go. And there was an opportunity, you know, the Columbus wanted me. Well, I think Columbus is a great city. I love it because it's just about, you know, it was a really good family-oriented city and stuff. But it's not like it's New York and so amazing, this city. But it was Columbus. I loved it. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to play hockey. I just wanted to further my career and advance my career. And it didn't matter where it was. And I don't get how these guys do that. Just so much self-entitlement. It drives me nuts. Well, nowadays, it seems like it's getting worse, but... You know, guys, and I mean, not so much in the NHL, but you see it in other sports where guys are demanding trades or, you know, they want to go play somewhere else or they want to play with somebody else or they, you know, you see in the NBA where they're like, hey, we're going to make these super teams, so come on and join us. And, you know, kind of like they jilt their other cities or they kind of like screw over their fan bases and they just up and leave and just go and play these super teams. And it becomes almost uncompetitive.
Right.
I mean, we could go off for an hour about the NBA and all these other kinds of sports.
I'm a Raptor fan, and DeRozan so much was loved in Toronto.
Yeah,
and absolutely so. And he was very few that wanted to play in Toronto. But if you're going to get Kawhi Leonard, I know you say you might not trade, but are you going to do it?
Yeah,
every day of the week. You know, it's It's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
See, there's two different views of it. You guys, as the players, this is your job, it's your livelihood. You're going to go to wherever who wants to pay you to play. And if you get to choose to go to a team that you grew up loving, you're obviously going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We grow up
Absolutely.
with that logo, and that's the logo that's the only logo that we care about. So I see where the fans are upset, but I also see from the players' point of view, you're going to want to go, if you can go to that hometown team that you grew up playing, we would all choose to do that in our own right.
Of course.
And it's just, we see it through the lens of, red and black here in New Jersey. The Islander fans see it blue and orange. So as far as we're concerned, the only team that matters is the Devils, and every other team,
Well, I'll give you kind of another example. You see guys that'll sign a 5-year contract, and then after their second year, they have such a great year. They're like, well, I'm underpaid. I got to redo my contract. Guess what? You signed the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm going against the player on this one, but then if the owner says, or the management says, you know what, we'll renegotiate your contract. Well, that's on you now. Now that's your open Pandora's box. Now I have the ability to do what I want, get what I want. But getting back to the first part of it is, you sign the 5-year deal. If you have a huge year, the second year, you want to redo your contract, guess what? You should have only signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
And you see the Bryce Harper contracts and all that stuff, which I have a problem with. I'm a massive Dodger fan, so I actually didn't really want him, but I don't get his contract at all. Personally,
that's a Kovalchuk contract.
Unless he turns around and just says, all I just want to do is have a long-term deal. What his contract tells me is that he's not confident after 4 or 5 years.
No.
He's not going to be very good. He's going to be hurt. When you have an opportunity, not because of the Dodgers, but it ties into the hockey.
Yeah.
You can sign a 4-year deal. It was a 4-year deal at $45 million a year. Opt out after 3, and then sign another 5-year deal at whatever. I go, you're almost doubling your money.
Yeah.
But it shows me he wasn't confident.
He wasn't confident to bet on himself.
No.
And that whole contract.
And I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I agree. And that whole contract, that was like the Kovalchuk contract that the Devils signed. And he signed that 13-year contract, and it was very similar, and it was backloaded, and they got rejected, and they re-signed it again. And we all saw what happened with it, that he left the team, but it's the same thing.
And take the player. Now, if it was a situation with me, I'm a third-line guy. I want the 13-year deal.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to only get you 10 to 12 goals a year. This guy, so it's a different scenario.
True.
I'm not going to. If I know that I'm getting 25 goals a year, I'm only going to sign 2-3 years. But I know what my value is, so I'm like, you know what? In my situation, I want the long-term deal.
Yes.
In his situation, to me, I shouldn't knock him because it's his own life. His wife and him wanted. That's what they wanted, according to the news. But dude, you could have made so much.
Yep.
Yeah. He could have leveraged so much, but you're right. He's not confident. That's what tells me. It tells you. It tells everybody.
Yeah. Same.
And then who stays in one place for 13 years? It ain't happening.
Well,
because guess what?
Travis,
he's a West Coast guy, right?
Yeah.
Sam Trent comes in 4 years.
I disagree. I would only play for the New Jersey Devils for 3 reasons. Number 1, if I had my car, the oil change, I'd take it to Bobby's Auto Care at 2151.
He's right there.
57.
He's right there.
In what beautiful downtown Washington, New Jersey. You go 57 West, you pass the big tank at Warren Community College, or whatever they call it. And I'd also have fish tacos at Mother's Ale House. The fish tacos.
Oh,
I think Tuesdays they have the fish taco specials.
This place is like heaven. I stand here and I'm like, if I ever build a man cave, this is what I want it to look like. Just everything about this place is amazing. Yeah. Just saying.
Is there any TVs in here?
There's 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
It's awesome.
Well, that was my commercial break.
Okay.
Carry on.
It's very well done.
We figured that one.
Slide it in there, real nice. But yeah, I mean, it's you see all the things that are kind of going around these different trades that the Devils made. The assets that they got back for Marcus Johansson. They got a 2nd-round pick from Boston this year. They got a 3rd-round pick next year. They trade away Ben Lovejoy. They get Carrick as another young defenseman and a 3rd-round pick. And for Lovejoy, and he was
unbelievable. That's like a 1st-round pick.
A lot of people gave Lovejoy a lot of grief, but he was really good on the PK. And he was a solid person to have. Listen. The stats don't lie.
The look on his face. on his face when you said that.
Look, I'm just going by the numbers, all right?
He's a worker.
But
He works hard for
but
me.
he works hard.
Yes, you're right. I agree with you.
And to get a third-round pick for him, and a funny story about him.
And a player.
Yeah. My parents went over to Europe to watch the game for the Global Series, and they were staying in the hotel that the Devils were staying in. And both my mom and dad get in the elevator one day, and Ben Lovejoy's standing there, and my mom's like, oh, hey, notices that it's a player. And my dad's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And he goes, nice to meet you. I'm Taylor Hall. Like,
that's great.
Yeah. And my dad's like, no.
He said he's had a good career, especially when he was with Pittsburgh, and he's a journeyman. That is a veteran guy, and that's probably the key out of it all. Is I'm sure that's why Ray had him here. Is he's a physical guy. He's a veteran guy that gets it, knows what he needs to do, and knows his role. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those situations where it's just we need to move on. It's just we want younger, and we want to. Maybe see what young guys we have, and they're going to get a third-round pick plus a carrot. So yeah.
Yeah, and then
it's a win-win for both.
Yeah, and I mean, you also get, Brian Boyle got a second-round pick from the Predators. So
for his age, that's great.
That's amazing
for him. I mean, and he's doing well with them, and it's a great. I mean, you had to again. You don't. There's certain things you don't want to do, but you have to do it.
Yeah,
it's about.
And the hope
obviously
is
if they're 4 points from making the playoffs, they're not doing it.
Oh, no.
But that, you have to know the situation. You have to know what you are. You got to know your team, and you just have to, bite the bullet and do what's best for the future. And that's what Ray's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the online reaction to Boyle leaving was, everyone was upset. You know what? With where we were in the standings, where he is in his career, I really didn't mind him going because we have no chance of winning the cup this year.
And he deserves it.
And he absolutely deserves it. And I want to see him win it.
Yep. Have a chance.
As much as I hated to see him go, you know what? He has a chance to win a cup now. Which you cannot beat.
There's still a chance that he could come back next year.
There is always
which we were talking about before.
Yeah, we were talking about that before, that there's a chance he can re-sign, which would be great.
But then again, if he does well there,
I know.
Nashville's a fun town. They have a chance to win.
And
Who
I know,
knows, right?
Yeah.
And I know that fan base is going to fall in love with him like we did because he's just that type of player. He's a fantastic player. He's a great character guy. But he's also the great character guy that you would love to have come back, especially since we're so young. You want someone to help teach these younger players how to be professionals too.
Right.
And if memory serves me, I think he was sitting in between Heischer and Brad in the locker room. And that's got to, as when you were a veteran, and I know that's strategic where they put everybody in the locker room, whether it's they want to put somebody like Boyle next to somebody like Heischer and give them a mentor to talk to or somebody that's been in the game for a while. Did you have anybody that you sat next to that you were like kind of a mentor to or that you talked to every day that you kind of helped through?
Really, it's well, in Dallas, I was next to Madonna the whole time. He was my roommate for 5 years. We were really close. So maybe in that regard, when I came here, it was me and Elias were next to each other. I don't even know who was to the right of me. I don't even know if I don't even who's to the right of me. I don't even know. Pandolfo and Madden, they were always together. They were attached to the hip. And Gomez was in the corner hiding. So I don't know who was there. Who was to the right of me? Oh, I think it was. Who was it? I know Dano was way over the left because Dano always sang. It was always the left singing, which is embarrassing. But yeah, no. We had an old team. With the Devils, we had an older team, so we all had nothing but veterans. I think Pascal Rion was to the right of me. I think actually.
That's pretty cool. It's just like it's crazy to think about like just the dynamic of the locker room and the
locker room at the Meadowlands was tiny. It's about as big as this corner here, so we were really close to each other. So it was fun.
Now, is it true you never walk across the logo?
It is. Well, yeah, you don't think about it. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
And you don't throw your jersey on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's silly, but it's just you just didn't do it. You just never thought of it. You just didn't do it. You just walk over to the bin and throw your jersey in there to get washed, and you walk around the logo and wish the logo was not in your way because you don't feel like walking around it. You had to do it. Get out of the way, logo.
We've talked about it about having superstitions, and I don't remember if you were saying that you had certain superstitions of like putting your pads on a certain way or like.
I'm a goalie. I'm all screwed up, so of course I got positions. I've got.
You get exempt. You just are naturally got issues.
Yeah, and every goalie that I know, that I've played with, that I've coached, we're always just the odd bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Just
aren't
the
right.
oddest. Yeah, it's like I do.
Marty is about as normal as I've played with. Marty and Marty Brodeur and Marty Turco are probably the two most normal goalies I played with. Belfour, forget about it.
I heard Belfour was
He's just something wrong
a
there.
strange bird.
Yeah, he was great, but he was out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have to interrupt for 1 second because Sam handed me a piece of paper, which normally means there's something important. So we have a David Puddy raffle ticket. So we have a David Puddy raffle ticket. It's one.
Oh yeah, the bobblehead, the David Puddy Bobblehead.
The bobblehead, the David Puddy bobblehead. So it's one for $3. One for $3 and two for $5. So if you're looking to buy a raffle ticket for the David Puddy bobblehead, it's one for $3 and two for $5.
Pete's got some. I see Melissa's in the corner with Abby
And-
hawking some raffle tickets as well.
And we have the 50-50 raffle, and this could go for anybody all the way down at the end of the bar. If you want to get involved in this 50-50 raffle, come on down.
Come on.
It's $1 each, and then $10 for your arms. So if you have super long arms, come on down and get your tickets.
Yeah, get your raffles. Get your raffles 50-50 and for the David Puddy bobblehead.
Which, by the way, was an amazing event. Now, that's another thing that I have a question about. Were you at the game for the David Puddy?
I was not,
most
but I
recent
seen
one?
that he did a face plant. It was weird. Right?
Yeah.
I think that was planned.
But he jumped right back up.
Choreographed, or was he just was he?
No, I think he ate it.
Drinking?
I think he ate it.
He what?
I think he
you
ate
think
it.
he
I think
literally
he-
ate it. You think
I
it
think
was
he
not
fell.
choreographed?
I don't think that was planned.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah. No, I wasn't there, but yeah.
I think it's cool. It's something that the Devil fans have obviously embraced, and it seems like the organization has really embraced it.
They've
So.
shown that clip from that Seinfeld episode for years.
Oh yeah.
For years. So
Great, right?
To get
Nostalgia.
and then to get him there, to do that, to play that role at the game live was massive.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
because they've
It's
shown
cool.
that.
The Devils, they're good at thinking outside the box and trying to make it fun for the fan base and try different things, but yet still trying to, at some point, keep that old style, that old history a part of it, or nostalgic kind of part of it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, speaking of nostalgia, they tend to play when they wear the red and green
God.
jerseys.
I love
Like
the jersey.
it's-
I love those. I have one.
I never got
I love
to-
them.
I bought one. It's
I
nice.
like them a lot.
Yeah.
But when they wear those jerseys, they tend to play like it's the 80s all over again. For some reason, they're just unsuccessful in those jerseys,
I know.
which is terrible.
But there's that superstition that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
See, I do.
They just not playing good in those jerseys because they stink in those jerseys because they're not playing well.
I do.
I love the jerseys. It's great.
I think it's cool.
I love it.
It's good. I never was. We never had him. Lou wouldn't knew what would happen.
He was very straightforward, right?
You
Very
know, that
this is
wouldn't
what it
happen.
is, and he had that Yankee type of way. Like speaking of baseball,
Yeah.
he kind of embraced a lot of that. Everybody's clean shaved. You wear
Yep.
a suit. You got to, everything is. If you're on time, you're late, kind of thing. And it was.
But I like that because it gets back to what I was saying, where we knew we had the Brodeurs and Stevens, but we're all one. We're not. No one's better than anyone else. We know who our better players are, but we also know that we all have to pull that same chain together, and we don't look. I mean, there was time. I remember one time in the pregame skate, Scott Gomez had his shirt tucked in or whatever, and Lou was in the stands watching. He called down the trainer and said, "Tell Gomez to get his shirt out there." Sean Brown had too much black on his gloves. Told him change his gloves. Get the different gloves that we have more red on there. It was it's where you. Is it anal? Is it crazy? Yes, but that's I wasn't. We weren't allowed to have. I came my whole career. I had a goatee, and then
Except for the playoffs.
I came here. I had to shave it, which is if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. I mean, now I'm glad I have to shave it. It's all white, but yeah, it's rules are rules. Just whatever.
Well, we have another fan question.
Yeah, so I'm here with Marty Lynn. He has a question for you.
Hey, Grant, what's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer?
Yeah.
Ooh, a cold one? Well, no, I'm not. This is a serious topic now. Let's get serious here. I'm not a dark beer drinker, so anything like I like a Belgian wheat, big Stella.
Oh yeah.
A Stella fan.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you let me know when you're empty. Let me buy
Cheers,
you.
you're a good man.
All right.
Now we go, Marty. That's right. Not this Berder crap. It's Marty Lynn.
Actually, I have to
Thanks,
say
bud.
this.
Appreciate it.
I got to say this. Marty's one of my defensemen, so he's one of the guys that protects me every Tuesday night when we're on the rink. So
Bet you he's annoying in net, isn't he? Drive you nuts. I would purposely screen him just to piss him off.
I know. He is really good. He is really good at passing right in front of the crease a couple times. At least
you always think
once.
you think he's convinced you're trying to tip it in.
Oh no.
No, I'm trying to block it. No, really, I am.
No, that's one of our other teammates that scored an own goal before. We don't let him live it down.
That's one thing I haven't done. Thank the Lord in my career. Have scored on my own net.
Oh,
I don't want to get near my net just in case. I might. No.
You know what's funny is like that happened in one game this year where the Devils accidentally scored on themselves 3 times in one game, and you're watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, as a goaltender, you got to be like upset after 1, but after like 3, I don't know how he didn't snap his stick over top of the net. And
I get upset when I see my team pass to the other team too often. It's almost like they're wearing the wrong color. Don't pass to our team, not them.
So try being a coach and you can't do anything about it, and you're just watching. Yeah, there it is.
I've been there. I've been there.
You're convinced that our team is blind. You're colorblind.
Absolutely.
You get convinced.
All right, we got another fan question, I think.
Yeah, so I'm here with Wimpy. Wimpy has a great question for you. Wimpy?
Did you hear Sean Avery's comments the other night about the Islanders? He trashed the Islander fans pretty hard the other night.
I never heard. What did he say?
It was on YouTube.
I'm not a fan of him. So.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
I got another question. Did you guys have any pump-up music for the 2003 playoffs?
Finally.
Anything that got you guys going for the game?
For the 2003 finals?
Yeah, or the playoffs in general. Did you have a pump-up song?
You know what? I think we might have had in our
this?
And almost every team we get on, we kind of do this in our locker room as we're going over. Because what you kind of, when we have our meetings, we go over the team we're playing, and we have to kind of, see what their tendencies are and stuff like that. Before that, we kind of have like a full season of what the whole year was with highlights of goals and hits and fights and all that stuff. Usually we've done stuff like that, but nothing really.
You didn't have like a theme song or anything? Okay.
No, not that I could think of. No. I mean, no, I don't. Do you know of one that we did? You might did. Were you in the locker room? I don't even know.
No.
If you are, remind me. I'm losing my memory.
Since I got this microphone, what do you think about the Hurricanes with the what did they call it? The Stern Swords. The
celebrations.
I enjoy them.
I think they're silly.
They are silly.
But I really don't care. I don't like them, but I get it, and they're making it fun. I think it's cool, but I think in my own opinion, I think they're just going a little overboard. But at the end of the day, you like them, and that's the whole point of it, right? It's coming from a hockey player, so we're not. I kind of look at it this way in some ways. If you worked hard enough, you shouldn't be going all out in a celebration. You should be somewhat tired. Your brain should be kind of tired, but it's great. I don't like it overly, but yet I get that it's if it went to a certain point. But they're doing lengths of the ice. Well, you just did that for 60 minutes. Why did you do that again in a celebration? I don't get that.
We got one more question. Durango Steve of Molnar Roofing has dropped a lot of money for this question. So he has a big question for Grant.
Is my wife going to hear this back home?
That's all good, all good. As a fan, one of the things that I enjoyed most about the Devils was our old goal song. Rock and Roll Part 2.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first things that the new regime took away from us when they came in. Because, I don't know, they thought it was politically incorrect.
I think they just didn't like it.
But the fans still do it to this day. Right? So they had a fake a new goal song contest online, but you could not vote for the old song. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was rigged,
I didn't know that.
rigged right from the start. And also, they let the voting be open to the public at large. So Ranger fans could have been voting for our goal song for all we know. Literally, I think what it should have been is season ticket holders should have gotten one vote per seat to the goal song and let the chips fall where they may. And I tell you right now, the old goal song is what the people want.
Right?
We won with it.
So you just answered. Now you know why they haven't done that.
That's
they
why
know
they don't win.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's why we don't win.
I have to do. I'm at the game. The next game, I got to do an event on. I think it's Tuesday. Game Tuesday, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to walk around. Me and Art or Cal with a microphone to fans, and they have to give us their best goal scoring chant or goal scream. All right, I got to do that. I got to walk around the microphone, so I'll catch you. But yeah, so I got to do that. Come to kind of, like ironically bringing that up. Yeah, I guess they just don't like it. They wanted to change things around. They're the owners. They can do what they want. I guess,
I get it, but to the fans,
it's cool. I know. It's just again nostalgia.
So participatory from the fans' point of view, and like the delusional type of fan that I am, we actually felt like we affected the outcome on the ice just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like
because we said you suck.
Just, No, it was the passion. It was the magic. And I think that's really what's gone now from the new.
It gets all the fans at the same time engaged, screaming together. I totally get that. Yeah, we like it. Yeah,
I know. But nowadays,
how do you? Sorry,
I don't know.
Absolutely. I hear you. I mean, it's
like the players never think about the goal song, right?
We hear it. No, there's no question. We hear it. Yeah. I mean, but then there's also people are saying, "You hear us really screaming?" To be honest with you, a little bit, not much. We're so focused on what we're doing, and we're so focused on trying to get you guys to scream. And then when you guys are screaming, we're like, we don't overly hear it because we're so busy trying to get you to scream, which doesn't really make sense.
Thank you very much.
But were there times where you guys fed off the fans and
of course
pushed forward?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's obvious. You kind of feel you don't overly hear it. I think it's also internally because you're trying so hard for the fans and for yourselves, and then things are slowly starting to turn your way, and then it just starts snowballing, and then you just internally feel like the fans are feeling that, which because you're watching the game and you're kind of things are happening whether you're in the team zone for an extended period of time. So yeah, you kind of want to keep going, and it's always that one goal that you try too hard and it deflates. You're like, yeah, now we're starting from scratch again.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, no question.
So I have a quick question because it just came up on the TVs and a million TVs around us here at Mother's Ale House. They just showed the clip of Johansson getting elbowed in the head by Marchand, right?
I missed it, yeah.
And so then they were talking about having him being traded from the Devils to the Bruins, and they said, "Oh, Marchand reached out to me real quickly." That's still got to be an uncomfortable situation, being that the guy.
You don't have to like him.
Yeah. That's going to be my question. Like, have you ever played with anybody, and you don't have to name names, but I mean, have you ever played with anybody that you just flat out didn't like?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But I mean, he doesn't have to like him, but he has to respect him because the most important thing is the logo.
Yeah.
That's what you play for. I know I work for the Devils. I care about the Devils. I love working for the Devils. People may have issues with certain things when you play. You have disagreements on certain things when you play, but it's the most important thing is you're playing for that logo and not you take that person's side. He doesn't have to hang out with Marchand. He doesn't have to like Marchand. Yeah. But he has to respect him on the ice as a teammate. That's just the way it goes.
It's got to be like any other job. Like, you're not always going to like everyone you work with.
True.
And you just avoid those people. Like, you have to
like
do with them at work. And then at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'll maybe see you tomorrow.
I totally agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to do it for the better of the team. Because it's not about you. It's about the team. You have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
So we're quickly approaching this game. It's a back-to-back, right? So just kind of for fun, should we try to make a prediction of how we think that this game is going to come out? We have Mackenzie Black. I know. We have Mackenzie Blackwood.
The Devils are going to lose. That would have real bad. Well, you go first. You go first. You tell me what you think.
All right. Well, honestly, Mackenzie Blackwood's in net tonight, so you want to see a good, strong outing from him. The Bruins are a tough team to play. They're a tough team. They're very deep.
Who's winning the game?
But we've had success against them in the past.
Let's see.
Right here. He wants to say he's going with it. He wants to go with his head, but he's gonna end up going with his heart.
No, I'm gonna go with the unrealistic. We don't want to hear it, but it's probably gonna be Boston.
What's the score?
2-1. I'm gonna say it's gonna be close.
Game.
Close game.
Okay, you?
I hate to say that too.
I'm excited to watch. I want to watch Blackwood and try to focus on how he plays tonight.
Right.
And I know the Devils have had success against Boston in the past.
True.
But that was prior to unloading a couple players in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Boston has improved. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Devils win 3-1.
Oh,
what a fool.
Playing to the crowd. Playing to the crowd.
Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?
I'm always messed up in the head. So.
All right. Well, that's so. You say 2-1 Boston. You say 3-2.
3-1.
3-1 Devils.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
All right.
Because you know what though, you also have a lot of young guys that are gunning for jobs. So that's got to factor in too. Where you've got Blackwood wants to prove himself. He's going to want to play real well. You've got a lot of young guys in the lineup that are trying to prove that they belong in the NHL level. And we've had some success against Boston in the past. Right. I think those three things can come into play, be a perfect storm.
Well, Devils got some young talent. They work.
Oh, they do.
The thing that the Devils do and Hines does, which is great, and I what I like about him, he really tries to get the best out of them. They work hard.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
They're young, so they're not good enough. They're just what holds them back a little bit is just the maturity level, and that's what they expect. That's fine. That's the whole why they're playing to grow, get that more maturity. So he has them playing hard, working hard every game, and that's all you can ask for, really. They don't quit. They don't quit. It's just you're going against a team, and it's a tough team. They need to keep pressure. That Tampa Bay is a good team.
Oh man,
their depth, they're solid, and with the Leafs going, Boston's got to, they have a lot they need to keep going with too. So it's gonna be a tough one.
And then therein lies the pressure's not on the Devils to win this game. The pressure's on Boston to win the game and to keep up with Tampa. So it could be a trap game for Boston.
Oh, it always can. Definitely can be.
Yeah,
it can be.
That's why I'm thinking in the positive here.
Good for you. Well, at least you're positive. You're not so positive.
I'm not being negative. I'm not being negative.
Can I just call a tie?
Well, I mean, the '90s anymore.
Yeah,
there are no ties.
So you have a team that's coming on a back-to-back, and you have to travel on top of that. That can't be easy as a player.
No, it's tough.
Right?
I mean, usually when you're coming from back-to-back, you really want to really simplify things in the especially first 5 to 10 minutes of the first period. But you just got to play smart. You also know you do know going into it, your legs are going to be a little bit tighter, a little tired. But your brain's fine. You just got to play smart and then just get your legs under you again and battle through it. The first 10 minutes are key.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
And it's about time to close it out because the Devils are about to drop the puck.
Go Devils.
Grant, one more question?
What? Oh, finish up. Oh, thanks.
Hey,
so
just
a reminder, we do have a 50-50 raffle, which is going on. We have $1 a ticket. Also $10 for your arm length. And we also are still raffling off, I don't think it went through, the David Puddy Bobblehead. So
wait, we're raffling off now. What are we raffling off?
Two door prizes.
We've got the Rangers Suck shirt signed by Bruce Driver. So, Grant, why don't you pick this?
All right.
Pick the winning ticket here.
You got it.
When the silence hits the crowd.
Yep, got it.
Blue ticket. This is a blue ticket prize. Rangers Suck shirt signed by Bruce Driver.
81002.
Hey, all right. Winner.
I love it. Hey.
All right. Now we're giving away. Hey, Steve sucks. All right, Rangers suck confetti.
All right.
It's
They are
double-sided.
Yep.
The original.
Turn the organ on there, Samuel. Sam.
Producer Sam's doing his job.
Take that. Let's put that one over
there. All right.
I love pizza on the ready.
I still got to do this one here.
Yeah.
Am I doing this one or are you doing that first?
Hold on a sec. I have to punctuate the Rangers Suck shirt.
All right.
Where's your feet?
I got a prize to give out here.
All right.
Can I give the prize?
There
out?
it is.
Hold on, wait.
Rangers suck.
Attaboy. Okay, good job, my man.
There was
Love
somebody here that had a Rangers shirt on before.
You just learned that yesterday too. He's a quick learner. Okay, here's the blue ticket.
Blue ticket.
Are you ready? 810012. I knew it.
Over there in the back.
I knew
Yes.
it.
All right.
There's the confetti. All right, so I think it's time to close this out and watch the game. Grant, thank you for coming again.
Guys,
Thank
thanks.
you very much.
Listen,
It's a pleasure.
how great are these guys? They do such a good job, don't they? Really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know it won't be as exciting with Bruce Driver than it is with me, but that's all right. Bruce might bore you, so make sure there's coffee instead of beer. But all right, Bruce is a good man, though.
No, Bruce is great.
He's a good man. Knows the game very well.
Oh, absolutely. So
All
thank you
right.
again for coming.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All the best.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you,
to
Pete.
everyone.
Marty
Thank you,
Lynn
Arlette.
over there. Marty
Pete,
Lynn.
Arlette.
My boy, Marty.
And let's go, Devils.
Woohoo. And a beer. Beer here.
Number one, you gotta get a Let's Go Devils. Hold on. My back up. Say it. Turn me out.
Good job, man. Good job.
I love it. Thanks, guys. Enjoy it. I also. Oh, thank you. And Sam. Sam? I also do the rock in this. It's not working. You're the rock. Oh, this one works. All right. And Sam?
Hey, I also just want to give a big shout out to our friends over here who set up this amazing display with Grant's jerseys and everything over here. If you get a chance, if you have a minute, just walk over here, check it out. There's everything from a Lowe's Devils jersey to a 2003 Stanley Cup jersey over here. This is an amazing display, so please come on over, check it out. It's the history of Grant, yes. But thank you guys so much for bringing this. This is such an awesome thing to have over here as well. So if you get a chance, go over and check it out.
Oh, selfie with Rob.
Hey!
It's taking too long. You're taking video. Made a move.